on the field. Okay, hold on, it's going live. So this week I'm in Zagreb, which is the capital of Croatia. So it's been an interesting city. A lot more people here. So got a lot of folks walking around. I was really excited because I thought I saw Rodney Dangerfield, and I was like, that's pretty cool. My first ever celebrity sighting. But turns out it wasn't him. It was just some guy passed out on a park bench. So that was a little bit disappointing. But, life goes on. The food is a little bit better. They have a dish called strukli, which is basically cottage cheese with cream and dough, and they just sort of bake that until it tastes about right. So yeah, it's very good. They have like a sweet one as well, so they add like some apple cinnamon stuff, or some red chili paste if that's your thing. Just sort of depends on your specific taste buds and preferences. So definitely try that if you're ever in Croatia, in Zagreb. There's just a lot of lovely old buildings. And as I travel, I'm realizing that a lot of the appeal of Europe is really just old buildings that people can see. Some buildings, they charge you money if you want to go inside. So do bring a few extra pounds, a few extra euros, a few extra forints, a couple extra kuna, a few extra rupees, wherever you're from, just bring money. So they do like that. Surprisingly, you got to pay to get inside a lot of churches. So that was a first for me, because the house of God should be a place of worship alone, and not an amusement park. So it's conflicting, the message that they're trying to send there. So yeah, this is maybe the fourth installment of the travel diary, and we got a few more weeks left, maybe a couple months, who knows. So not really looking forward to going back to America at the moment. It seems to be on fire. So why would you run back inside your house when it's on fire? Am I right, audience? I don't even know who's listening to this. I mean, I know there's like 10 people that listen to the show, but like, how many people listen to this on the show, So anyways, whoever's getting this, safe travels out there, and keep your eyes open.
Scratch your nose, you're dead.
Oh, I don't know, it's worse. The bear on my itchy nose.
No! Don't! The bear is one! The bear is definitely
Live from Studio 62 in Benson, Nebraska, it's the Medium Roast with Tom Noblock and Chris Fago.
Oh,
wow.
How about that?
Look at those production values.
Yeah, I spent like 10 minutes on that.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyway, yeah,
you can tell it's not us saying welcome to the Medium Roast. This is Tom Noblock.
Yeah. Well, but now it's introduced, so we can just get right to the meat
I know.
of things.
Wow.
Speaking of meat, Bears.
Bears.
It's the
Yeah.
best movie
Bears. No TV show Bears?
I'll allow TV.
You allow
shows,
TV
yeah.
show? I don't. I'm just that didn't
That
really
help? Does that
No,
help?
it didn't find anything. I mean, maybe like the Smokey Bear count. Smokey the Bear,
yeah, okay.
like commercial bears.
Commercial bear, yeah, like the Coca-Cola polar bears.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I think they should count.
Yeah, sure. Don't even think about the amount of seals those polar bears killed.
Oh my goodness, I didn't think about it.
And
Now,
then
now I
they
am.
sat back down for a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola to wash the taste of blood out of their teeth.
That's yeah, you're right. You know,
Yeah.
I can't argue against that.
No, I said yeah.
Anyway, so if you want to join in the fun,
Movie
we're
bears.
going to do the official ranking of the best bears in movie, television, or commercial history. Call in at 402-509-2194, or I am watching the chat. There is a chat already set up on YouTube. We're on YouTube this week, not on Facebook.
Yeah.
So take that, Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
You jerk.
Yeah. Wait until he buys Facebook or buys buys YouTube, and then
Yeah,
then
yeah.
whatever.
Well, doesn't Google own YouTube? So he'd have to buy Google.
Yeah. I mean, you could buy YouTube.
He's like,
Because
give me your YouTube.
yeah, Google owns YouTube, but if Google sold YouTube, Google no longer owns YouTube.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine. Yeah, so today we're on YouTube. There are people listening already.
Woo!
So you know,
Wow.
I'm honestly a little surprised. I thought no one would know how to find the link. Even.
Will's travel diary really drags in the listeners.
Somebody stuck around for that. you
Where
know.
did he even say where he was this time? I don't think
Um,
he gave no specific references to where he was. As far
He
as I
said
know.
something about a place, but I didn't really follow.
He mentioned like
because
10
was-
different kinds of currency.
He seemed to be like
Rupees.
under a waterfall.
Yeah.
I think
Multiple waterfalls.
he's in that part in A Quiet Place where they go to not get attacked by the aliens.
Yeah, well, that's a weird thought. Wouldn't those aliens just be like randomly smashing anything that's making noise that is natural, for example? Like, what
That's a good point.
What's to stop them from being like, thunder,
Yeah.
and then just running into a lightning storm?
Jim Halpert didn't think about that one.
Dang, Jim.
But yeah, so if you want to join in for best movie bears, let us know. We're going to do the official ranking later on in the show. So all your favorite movie bears, call in at 402-509-2194. Also, we have Real Fake News.
We do. I was just about to say that.
Okay,
oh
go
my
for it,
gosh,
go
let's
for
wait for it. We also got real fake news.
or if you guys want to join in to Real Fake News, you are more than welcome to.
It's your chance to win a Jafadala 2020 bumper sticker.
Yeah, that's
Which
right.
after 2020, we're gonna have to come up with
2024.
I know. That doesn't sound right. It sounds wrong.
We should just start selling the 2024 ones now.
Right?
Just get
He's
ahead
not
of
even.
it.
He's not gonna try this time, but next time.
No, I think
I
we,
got that idea. Like
we know
he's not
he's-
worried about this election.
just a profile booster.
Did you see the building down the street that has the Bernie 2016 poster up on their wall? It's so
Which one's
funny.
that?
It's like it's outside. They've got like this big banner up, but it says Bernie 2016. I think
I
it's
missed
so
that
funny.
one.
Which doesn't that just seem so long ago?
Yeah,
So.
I mean,
long ago.
I've driven behind people who their bumper sticker is like Gore Lieberman. They're like,
yeah.
oh my goodness, that's an
Yeah.
old car.
Lieberman.
Yeah. yeah, Lieberman.
Lieberman.
How about that guy?
I've never seen that bumper sticker.
his name. So we got Real Fake News. We got bears.
We got bears.
Best movie bears. How'd you like that intro?
I liked it a lot.
You know what movie that's from?
No, I know what I was going to ask, but I forgot to ask.
It's from Almost Heroes, the
I don't
movie
know.
where Chris Farley and Matthew, what's his name? Oh God, Matthew Perry?
I was going to say Broderick.
No,
Do you imagine that combo? That'd be a really awkward combo. It'd be like Matthew Broderick kind of looking confused while Chris Farley
Basically,
gets
yeah.
loud and yells about life.
which I mean, that's kind of what the dynamic is in the
Yeah.
movie anyway.
Okay.
But basically, so Matthew Perry wants to beat Lewis and Clark to the ocean.
Oh, you talked about this
And
last
he
time.
recruits Chris Farley as his for the show. What would be a good clip from something that has a bear?
Yeah.
And so I played a little of the Revenant, but it's just like
Leo screaming. You didn't just do a jumbled mess of what's his name? Tom Hardy, like
I could have. Yeah. No, but then I remembered that there's a part where the guy wants to itch his nose, and I thought that might be funny. So
yeah.
we got the bear
That's a
attack
good
noise,
one,
but it's a little better than the Revenant attack because it's funny.
I'm surprised YouTube didn't take us down for that one.
I don't think does any. I bet the studio
They forgot about that
relinquished
movie.
the copyright of that movie. They were
Thomas
like,
Heroes.
"Yeah, that did so badly. We're not even going to own it anymore."
I've never heard of it, and people tend to like Chris Farley movies, so that's surprising.
It's funny because he only did like 6 movies.
Well, I can't picture him in a movie without David Spade. I think is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, well, even
So,
Black
when-
Sheep though nobody watches. It's only Tommy
When
Boy.
you say Almost Heroes, I expected David Spade. I expected Chris Farley
Yeah.
and David Spade are trying to outrun Lewis and Clark. You know
well,
what I
okay, Chris Farley movies that he started.
mean? I've never seen that one either. I think the only one I've seen was Tommy Boy, then like bits and pieces of Black Sheep.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tommy
Like
Boy's
where he
the
gives
only
like
one.
his speech, and the dude's just like, "That was terrible." I'm like, yeah,
Tommy Boy's the only one you need to watch.
that's where it's all hiding out.
I didn't ever like. I was probably not watching the David Letterman show at the time, but when apparently I saw a clip of it on Facebook where it must have been pre-planned, but it was so funny. Where Chris Farley's the guest, and so Letterman calls him out.
Mhm.
Then Chris Farley's like, flailing from side to side, screaming, runs all over the place, runs through the audience a bunch, grabs a guy out of the audience, throws him over his shoulder. The camera guy's falling right behind him. He runs out to the exit, pushes the exit, throws the guy in a dumpster, then just runs back and gets on stage. And that was, they didn't
I love
acknowledge
it.
it after
Yeah.
that. It was so funny. Like, how do you think of that even?
Right? Like, what if I just pick up this guy from the audience and throw him out?
And David Letterman's just like, welcome guest. It's like it's totally a normal way to come on the stage.
Did you listen to his Mark Maron
I
episode?
did.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
I listened to the I like 75% of the John Turturro one earlier, which I think just came out like a day or two ago.
John, is that the newest one?
Must be, yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard that one yet.
He is okay. So I only know him as the Jesus.
Yeah.
And so really weird hearing him talk like the actually educated man that he is.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like no one believes with the Jesus, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, I grew up with my Italian parents and yada 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 all this other stuff." And I was like, "What?" Little disconnect there as far as like who I think I'm listening to and who I'm actually listening to.
Well, did you ever watch Barton Fink?
No, I did not.
He's
That's the forgotten Coen Brothers movie. Every time we talk about Coen Brothers movies, we never bring that one up. And I always know there's one that I mean to watch, and I have not watched that one yet.
that one's well. He's great in that. He's great in Miller's Crossing.
Oh, he was in Miller's Crossing?
Yeah,
we
he's
watched
the-
that, didn't
He's
we?
the one who he shoots in the end.
I don't remember. That was
He's
the
the one
dry
who's-
cleaner one, right? That's Blood.
No,
Simple.
that's no.
No.
Dry cleaner one is the man who wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying.
Miller's Crossing,
Getting them all mixed up.
The gangsters one, the Prohibition era gangster one, where
Didn't you make me watch that?
yeah, we watched-
yeah, we did watch that. That's the hat, and the hat always
It's,
blows away.
it's the one where
Okay, wow. I
John
don't,
Turturro's the one who's like, "Look in your heart."
I don't
look in
remember
your
that. I don't
heart."
remember much of that movie at all.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, but I do. I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember like many of the details.
You should rewatch it.
I
then.
might have to give it
It's
a
a
shot.
great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, John Turturro, he did this really bad thing, which is he's been
he did a bet.
he did, and I'm really curious to see how it's going to play out. But what John Turturro did was he bought, or I don't know if he bought the rights, but basically he's been begging the Coen Brothers to let him do a Jesus spinoff for 20 years,
Yeah,
and that was never really that good of an idea. To
well,
begin
not
with.
that I hear him talk, I feel like he's too smart for that.
Yeah, well,
It's like he doesn't see. Yeah,
the Coens understood. There's funny in 2 scenes.
well, and people seem to think that you have these little one-off characters who are funny in 1 or 2 scenes, and they're like, "Oh, that character's so interesting. Give me a whole movie about him." But then, like, the whole reason why it's even slightly interesting and even good in those few scenes is because they're only in those few scenes.
Yeah.
It's that whole brevity is the soul of wit thing. It's like
Absolutely.
they're fun because they're only there for those little split-second jokes, and they don't have to carry a whole movie.
Right.
And they're not meant to carry a whole movie. It's just not going to work.
But for some reason, John Turturro thought it was worth begging the Coen Brothers until they finally were like, "Yeah, whatever."
And then they broke up.
Well, that happened, but that's unrelated. But what's funny about every time there would be a news release about this movie is it would always mention the Coen Brothers have no creative involvement in this movie. So they must have demanded that that be
Every single
restated all the time. Well, then so John Turturro makes this movie, independently funded.
Did it actually get made?
He made it, but then as he's getting ready to sell it to distributors, the Me Too movement happens, and this is a
9/11
movie-
happened.
This is a comedy about a pedophile
Yeah. Yeah.
named Jesus.
Yeah.
So it has not come out. I don't think anyone's bought it. And
I know a guy named Jesus, and like his family is mostly white, so they just call him Dylan. Which
Okay.
is like the weirdest
Well.
like jump ever. He's like, "Yeah, my name's actually Jesus, but my family calls me Dylan." I'm like, but then why did they name you Jesus? Like, if they're just gonna call you Dylan, I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever.
But so John Turturro wrote and directed and probably threw his own money down to fund a Jesus movie. that
Yeah.
landed at the exact worst time since The Big Lebowski.
Mhm.
And I'm really curious to see what happens with that.
I wonder if like 5 years from now it'll come out like out of nowhere. They just like be like, oh yeah, and then this John Turturro movie.
It'll be bundled.
So
like,
did he write and direct, or did
Yeah.
he just wow really?
It'll
Has he
probably-
written and directed before?
he actually, speaking of
I was
poorly
gonna say,
timed,
You're the person to know. So I should
Uh,
ask you.
he made a movie. Oh man, how long ago was that? At least like 7 or 8 years ago, I think. Called Fading Gigolo or something like that, which was about.
Deuce Bigelow 3, Fading Gigolo.
It's actually less, culturally accepted than that because
Oh,
what the
gosh.
plot was somehow John Turturro gets convinced to become a gigolo,
Oh, yeah.
and his pimp is Woody Allen.
And then 2001, or right, no, September 11th happens.
No, he's
It's
just like the way he deals with characters being inappropriate sexually is just bombed
Yeah.
every time with Where the Cold Is Gone.
Mm.
It's like that comes out right as the Woody Allen stuff is being dug up again. Then he makes a Jesus movie that comes out right during the Me Too movement, or it doesn't even come out.
Mhm.
So he's written and directed before, but he just has terrible instincts because, like, one of the weird things about filmmaking is you don't know what the culture will look like from the when you start to write something to when that movie comes out. A lot of time happens.
Well, I mean, we had our wonderful serendipity with the Weinstein joke that you.
Yeah,
wrote.
that was a good
fantastic.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a joke that we didn't know we made, and then all of a sudden it became a better joke because of
Absolutely,
reality happening. Yeah.
John Turturro is the opposite of that.
Yeah. He does that in reverse.
Yes,
His jokes become worse as society becomes worse.
all of his stuff seems to age horribly before it even comes out. Is the funny thing, and I don't know what to make of that. So that movie, I never watched the Woody Allen one actually, even because it's like Woody Allen is a pimp. I don't know if I'm ready for that one.
I think I'm ready for that movie. So that's kind of funny. I mean, just if you, that's definitely you say those words to the right like people with money, and they're like, make that movie.
Well, yeah, that
like
one-
5 years ago, maybe 5,
Yeah.
10 years ago, maybe. But yeah,
I can see how that one got funded. The
Yeah.
Jesus one's
Like,
a little bit more of
yeah.
like, that's not going to work. Like clearly, that is not a good idea.
yeah.
I've got a couple of reviews for the show today.
No, really, I don't know if I do.
I watched this Hulu show called Pen 15.
That's oh yeah, how is that?
Looks like a naughty word.
Yeah, I figured it
just
out.
an anatomical word, I suppose. It's not
anatomical word.
necessarily naughty.
only naughty.
Depends
if
on what
you're
you're doing
prude.
with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Or if you're Jesus.
Or if you're Jesus.
Yeah. But anyway, so that I watched that whole season, and then I also have seen the entire
You watched
Twilight
the
Zone
whole
season.
Oh, you did.
So
Yeah, we never watched that like you said we would.
I know. I'm sorry. I think it was just the week it started. I was busy, and it wasn't.
And you watched it with them.
And then I got started watching it, and then I just kept watching it. And so I'm sorry, but well, we'll talk about it though. So,
Okay,
do we
okay.
want to do a tease of real fake news or anything?
What do you mean a tease? You want me? I mean, if I list, I feel like if I just list off the things now, that gives people a chance to just like
Google them?
cheat and Google them or Facebook.
However,
them
nobody
or
really
whatever.
even participates, let alone
No,
cheats.
except for you.
So, I
Yeah.
feel like it's fine.
We'll say that for like halfway through the show. I think.
We'll say, okay, well, we don't have to do that right now. But anyway, so all right, let's talk about a couple bears. Then we'll do some
Bears.
reviews, and then we'll go back
Oh, we're
to the
doing
bears.
bear. Oh, okay.
Let's just do
couple
it.
bears.
Well,
Yeah.
we're trying a new pacing thing. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Professional.
as we talked about before, if you want to join in, call in at 402-509-2194, or just comment
Tell us your favorite movie bear.
comment on
Yeah.
YouTube. Who are the best movie bears? There have been a couple nominations from the audience, so I'm going to go through those.
Walter Matthau. Bad News Bears.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Bad News Bears.
Bad News
Let's
Bears.
put that on the, I'm gonna put that on the list.
Bad News Bears. Walter Matthau.
The Bad News Bears are on here. We're not sure about the ranking, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put
We're
bullet
going to
points.
figure it out because I
Couple
mean we don't
bullet
even know how many we're going to have to rank yet. It's kind of a loose list at the moment.
A commenter who goes by the name A Franks to the Past. I don't know what that means.
That's a play on a Link to the Past. I think
What's a Link to the Past?
it's a stupid game. Not a stupid game. It's a pretty good game from forever ago.
Is it about Zelda?
Yeah. There you go.
Link's the blonde
It
dude.
was an old one. Yeah.
What's it about?
I don't
know
remember.
anything
I
about it.
feel like I played it like 10 years ago,
All right.
but it's been a long time.
Well, anyway, he says polling for the DiCaprio bear. So
yeah, I was gonna bring that one up. I was gonna say that's the luckiest bear in Hollywood. I don't know if it's the.
I don't know if it's lucky. He got killed.
Yeah, but I mean, it got to have its way with Leo.
That was the rumor.
that was the rumor.
This is gossip. All right, none of that's confirmed.
We don't know what
Chris.
happened. You don't know what happened behind
Yeah,
the scenes.
I wasn't in his bedroom.
Did they use a real bear in a few scenes, or was it all just CGI?
I think it was all CGI. Did you ever see what the guy looks
Could you
like?
imagine? No, but
I posted
That
a
sounds
picture of it.
hilarious.
You
Oh,
should look
I just
on our
missed that one.
look on our Facebook.
I saw a
page.
few of them. I saw the.
the country bears.
Yeah, no, I was hoping that you didn't know about that one. I was gonna be like, oh, the Country Bears, you know. But
Okay, the country bears is one of those movies that
It's
I
so
feel like
dumb.
it didn't actually happen, and that was a Mandela movie.
I'd
I'd like to think that wasn't a real movie.
Place these weird memories of a movie based off of like singing animatronic band, literally based off the animatronic like at Disney World
somewhere. Yeah, I think something
or
like
Chuck E.
that.
Cheese's or something.
I think it was a Disney one.
Because Chuck E. Cheese has like the singing animatronic animals, right? Back in the day.
I don't remember. Maybe
Oh man,
it's been a long time since I've
Yeah.
been to a Chuck E. Cheese.
yeah, me too.
But yeah, Country Bears I think is a Disney thing.
I thought so
And
too. So yeah,
Then they were like, "What if we make a movie about all these weird animatronic bear things?"
it's almost like a precursor to that Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where they're like,
It
what if,
is.
what if we make a ride or a movie based off this Pirates ride?
I
You
think
know,
the
it's like-
best argument against funding Pirates of the Caribbean would have been remember Country Bears though.
right? Yeah,
Remember that one?
last time? Yeah.
Can you imagine you're at Disney and you're like, yes, let's give them like, okay, what do you think the budget was? Let me look up the budget of
For
this
what?
movie. The Country Bears.
Oh, Country Bears. I'll give it.
If you're
I'll give it 15 to 20 million.
you're an executive at Disney, I bet it's way more than that.
Oh, really?
I
I mean,
bet
these
they-
animatronic bears, though, how much could it actually be? And they probably use the bears from the thing.
For a while, it's like they've got cover bands
Yeah, right. Yeah.
in there.
I always thought it'd be funny to have a band where you say like the drummer's like out, so we got this guy standing in, but there's just no other drummer, and you just it's always
That
just
was funny.
this person standing in for your drummer because they couldn't make it today, and it's just
All right, budget for the Country Bears was $35 million.
oh, someone's there.
That's not like completely terrible, but it is more than you probably should have spent.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, if you're Disney, what's a $20 million? I mean, come on.
Yes. Film critic Roger Ebert said the formidable technical skills in the Country Bears must not be allowed to distract from the film's terminal inanity.
Oh, I like
Yikes.
that. He had what was it? My mom went and saw Valley Girl because they were playing at Alamo, and she picked up a copy of the DVD. And I saw she posted a picture on the cover of the DVD. There's a quote from Roger Ebert saying he liked the movie or Valley Girl.
Ebert had weird taste in things. So
Right.
the one thing you always have to give Ebert credit for was if he liked a movie that the culture did not like, he would say it.
Well, I think that's why he was such a well-respected and like prolific movie reviewer, because he didn't necessarily give a movie a good review because it was a good movie or a bad movie. He gave a good review if he liked the movie, and that's
Yes.
what you're supposed to do.
To me, that makes so
Yeah.
much more sense.
Yeah, I like to think that you find what they like, and then like you kind of pick up on it. Well, if they like these things and I like those things, maybe I'll like this movie. 'cause
Right.
They said, yeah,
'Cause taste
that's
is
the way you're supposed to do it.
subjective.
Yeah, yeah.
Ultimately, or it should be.
That's why you don't
I know.
read just one review. I don't read reviews anymore, anyways. That's just
Yeah. Abe would always say that he thought that no critic really actually decides what they like when they watch a movie. It's all pre-decided basically because this is what they think that the culture wants them to say.
depends on how much you sold out. I'm just kidding.
That's true, but I don't know. So, okay. Critic Sean O'Connell said of the Country Bears, Bears is bad. Not terrible filmmaking bad, but more like I once had a nightmare like this and now it's coming true bad.
Technically well shot, but you know,
Christopher Walken was nominated for a Golden Raspberry
Christopher
Award
Walken
for-
was in that movie.
Yes.
I haven't actually watched it. It's,
I haven't
it's one of
either.
those weird things where it's like I don't know why I remember trailers from it.
Me too.
Like it's so stupid.
That's
Like,
what-
there's
yeah.
no reason. Yeah, it's like there's
Like
no,
how many dumb movies?
Yeah.
There's so many kids movies I've seen trailers for in the last
that
10
like
years.
would
I don't
come
remember
out
it
and
all.
disappear and
Yeah.
die. You don't think about it at all. But yeah, but then it's like also for some reason that one like just pops up in your head every once in a while. It's like
As soon as I thought of the topic,
Why?
best movie bears, the first thing that entered my head was the Country Bears.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Supporting Actor for his performance in the film, but lost to Hayden Christensen for Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones. So, the history of the Country Bears. We should invite like the director of that
Gosh,
movie.
it was
on.
around the same time as Attack of the Clones.
2002. So I guess it was
Attack of the Clones was 2002.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
That seems like a lot longer than it feels.
was a
like
long time
I
ago.
know it was,
It
but
was a
it
very, very long time
doesn't
ago.
feel like 2002 a long time ago though.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think the Country Bears deserves to be on the best movie bears list. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if we can put it at the bottom, so we have something to put at the bottom.
How big should our list be?
I don't know. We've got 2 or 3 things on the list right now. You already posted the Annihilation Bear.
All right, Annihilation Bear. That's a good bear.
That's the best horror bear as far as I'm concerned.
I
Like
can't even
the best
think of anything
scary
that comes
bear,
close.
I think is that one. I know.
Almost Heroes Bear. I guess
Almost
needs to be on there.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny that he sniffs his nose and then the bear drags him off
Uh,
to die.
There's a bear in what was it? Swiss Army Man. They fight off a bear.
Is it a good bear?
Is it a good bear? Yeah, it seems like a nice bear. No,
Alright,
not really a nice bear, but I mean, it's
I mean, we're saying it like in the way you'd say if we were talking about dogs. Was he a good boy?
yeah. Was he a good boy? There was in my research for this list, which was not very much. Most of them were like talking about actual like the bears that did the acting kind of a thing, and like there was one where let me read this thing where it was like, so they go through all these bears and they go like, who's the bear? Then it's like, would they be a good hiking partner? And then why would they not be a good hiking partner? And one of them is the one they're talking about that was in one of the bear actors was in The Edge, and
Which one was The Edge?
that was Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins. Like it's like that one.
I don't know if I saw
it's
that
like that one Liam Neeson movie with him versus the wolves, but it's it's like that versus the bear though.
Look,
Basically, yeah.
it's just Alec Baldwin gives like discouraging advice to the bears. Look, bears.
But like at the end of that one, when they're talking about that bear, his name apparently was Bart. He was in a lot of movies.
Bart the bear.
He
What
was
else
he was in some movie with Dan Aykroyd. I don't know it. No,
The
John
Great
Can-
Outdoors.
That might have been it. Yeah.
There's definitely a bear in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Great
Yeah.
Outdoors.
His,
Okay,
name's,
what's
his name's Bart. Bart the bear.
Bart the bear's not
Yeah.
on the list. All right.
But they're like, why would he be cool? Because he hung out with John Candy, so he might be a good hiking partner. Why would he not? He kills Brad Pitt's character at the ends of Legend of the Fall. Also,
This is a great bear. This is a great
also
bear.
he died.
This is the
Like-
front runner.
Yeah.
All right. What's this movie with Alec Baldwin called?
The Edge.
Did you see this movie?
No, but it's one of those movies that I know of because people talk about it a lot.
Who talks about it? I've never.
I don't know.
heard
It's
of it.
one,
I'm sure
it's one of
I've
those
heard
movies
it,
I
but-
hear like on random podcasts. Like, oh yeah, it's like in The Edge with Alec Baldwin. It's like
Oh my goodness! I just don't know. I don't know anything about this movie.
It's that movie with Liam Neeson versus the wolves, which is like The Gray.
The Gray.
The Gray. Yeah, it's like that, but with a bear, as far as I know.
Well, I'm going to play a
Can
clip
be
from
done.
this.
You believe it, Bob? Believe it?
I don't know, Charles.
Huh?
I don't think it'll work, Charles.
It will work.
No.
It will work. What one man can do, another can do.
Can't kill the bear, Charles. He's ahead of us all the time. It's like he's reading our minds. He's stalking us, for God's sake.
We should do that as our intro. That should have been the intro.
I didn't know about this
Oh my
movie.
god! How
You
did you?
want to die out here? Huh? No,
No.
I'm gonna die. I tell you what, I'm not gonna die. No, sorry, I'm not gonna die.
It's like he's reading our minds. Oh my goodness! I might have to watch this movie now.
No, I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it, I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it. I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it. Say I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it.
I'm gonna kill the bear.
Say it again.
I'm gonna kill the bear.
And again. I'm gonna kill the bear. Good. What one man can do, another can do.
What one man can do, another can do.
Say it again.
What one man can do, another can do.
And again.
What one man can do, another can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill the bear. I'm gonna kill him. God, it's so weird when Alec Baldwin had that
Wasn't-
higher pitched voice.
Yeah, like where he wasn't a big guy.
Yeah, well, and he didn't sound like Batman.
I didn't know that he was the guy in Beetlejuice until like I started like knowing who actors.
Well, yeah, 'cause
were.
you watched the movie when
you
you were a
would never
kid.
guess. Yeah, no, and that's one of those things like you can still tell people and they'll be like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yeah, it is. He's just not fat. You know, and it's like,
Well, he
that's
doesn't-
neat, but yeah,
Doesn't
it's
talk like this.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
really weird. Man, our list grew really quick.
right,
What
well-
other bears are there?
Let's hold off on that.
Oh,
We'll
okay,
come back
yeah,
to it. All
yeah.
right. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna do a couple of reviews here. All right.
Ooh, what were we reviewing?
Let's start with Pen 15.
Oh yes.
Do you know anything about it?
It looks like junior high to high school style teenage comedy, mostly female based. Yada yada yada.
So you know the gist.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. How is it? Is it pretty funny?
Well, the funny
how did you end up watching this? Because it doesn't seem like a show that you would watch.
that's true because there's almost no. I don't think there's ever been anything set in middle school that I liked.
No,
Ever.
including middle school.
No, I hated all school until grad school, really. But anyway, so the funny thing about the way they do it is it's written by the two stars who are in their 30s who play all the other people are the age appropriate.
That's kind of funny.
So
Okay.
it's them
I
interacting
didn't know
with
that.
a bunch
That
of
sounds
kids.
good. Yeah.
And they're just really funny in the way that they deal with it. But the craziest thing about the show is it actually works on a poignant level where it's like the sad things about middle school, which I never have enjoyed watching anything about, but they actually I thought they were handled it like ridiculously well for
Well,
as goofy as an execution as they
I
have.
got some Lady Bird vibes from it. It was probably like the movie equivalent of what I would say. Like, I mean, it's set
My
back
problem with
several years,
Lady
but
Bird,
like
though,
still.
Lady Bird has this problem where I just relate too much to talking to my own mom when I watch that.
God, it's
So it's
brutal,
like-
isn't it?
I can't
I
get
know.
into a place of enjoying this.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's like I relate too much,
Well, you're supposed to. That's good. That's good, Tom.
but not in a happy way.
I don't think you're supposed to relate to that part in a happy way.
No, I just got it reminded me of all these uncomfortable occurrences with my mom.
Yeah.
It's like
It felt
I
like
can't do
like
this.
a prequel to Frances Ha, where it's her moving to New York or something.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
I don't. It's definitely a good movie, but I don't think I'll ever get to the point of liking it because I just
Oh, you didn't like it?
no, because it just made me
Oh.
it made me upset and
I really
sad
liked it.
because of like personal things.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want.
I think
I
you're
don't
just
know.
afraid of Greta Gerwig, like relating to you on that level. Like,
No,
she's
I'm
like,
not.
No.
No, because I
No.
love Francis Ha. I love Mistress America. I don't know.
I thought Lady Bird was great. That's just me.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's only that it makes me remember
Gives you the sads.
problems I have
Gives you
with
the
my mom.
sads.
And,
Oh, man. I can
that's-
see
and I'm
you
done.
like
I'm
dropping
done
a
with
little tear like during the
No,
movie.
no,
her and
not-
her and her
not
mom are yelling at each other, and you're just like,
Not in a
you
poignant
just
way.
take a
No,
sniff.
more in like the oh god, I hate these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
It makes me mad.
Maybe in a
sort of
couple
way.
years you'll watch it again. And you'll
I
cry.
don't know. I don't know if I'll watch it again. I don't know. I'd like to like that movie, but I can't get into it. Whereas on the flip side, Meyerowitz Stories reminds me also of dealing with my parents, but
Yeah.
in a way that I found kind of fun and moving.
Okay.
I didn't just get mad when I watched that one. So it's like both Gerwig and Baumbach in the same year made it like, yeah, this feels a little too personal. However, I kind of like this one more than I like that one. How do we get into Lady Bird? What were we talking about? Oh, Pen 15.
Pen 15, yeah,
Because
sorry.
Pen 15. I think it's a hilarious show.
Really?
I loved it. I
I'll
thought
have
it
to
was
give it a
great.
shot.
I am shocked that
Yeah.
I liked it.
Huh.
That's my favorite
yeah.
thing is when I'm anticipating really not enjoying something and then I do a 180 and I'm like, okay, that was great.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastically made show, like way better made than you'd ever think a show like that would be.
Okay.
Really funny, moving. It's
Huh.
like, how
yeah,
in the
where
world?
did- who are you?
How did this happen?
Why did you make this?
Which ones? Which emotions? Yeah, no, I thought it was fantastic. I will probably watch it again at some point.
Huh.
Honestly, Frankie had watched it, but she didn't say anything about the fact that she was watching it.
Did she exist in middle school? Like, did she ever
Frankie?
like go to?
I'm sure
just
she
kidding,
did.
like-
Yeah. Actually, she went to. She was in an advanced math class that they didn't have. She went to St. Pat's, right?
Oh yeah.
So Mount Michael was the only place that offered.
I was gonna say I thought you really just like weirdly like stuttered and almost said Mount Michael.
No,
Like,
no,
but
no.
she actually had to take a math
She
class at
went
Mount
to.
Michael.
She and this other girl went to Mount Michael in Mr. Getke's room.
Oh,
Took a math class from
Oh,
some
man.
traveling teacher. Well, it was because they didn't want these two girls to be too far into the school with all the crazy, animals. And so
oh, the crazy something. All the bears.
the bears, yeah. So they put them in the room.
Also,
that's-
you guys were doing best movie bears during Pride Month. That's kind of
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Interpret that however you want to. And Alec Baldwin.
Did you see it? Someone posted this picture on Facebook. I got a huge kick out of this. I have changed topic for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was so funny because it was a picture of Steve Buscemi from 30 Rock,
Yeah.
like when he's sneaking into the elementary school.
Hello,
and
fellow
Yeah,
teens.
hello, fellow teens. And it said like big corporations during Pride Month, and it said hello, fellow gays. And it's like,
That's funny.
it's like, oh god, 'cause it's so true. They all go around posting all this crap nowadays. Then they're like, filet,
Yeah.
donating to all these anti yada 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 groups. And it's just like,
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's irritating. Well, it's just
I got a kick out of
it's
that.
just so
though.
blatant. Yeah, that's funny. But anyway, how do we get on this? What are we talking about?
Mount Michael.
Oh yeah, so
we were talking about an all boys school. That's how.
because they didn't trust these girls to be in the middle of the school, they moved them. So they made
Like
the math.
junior high girls though.
They made the
Like,
math
come
teacher go to the room that was closest to stairs that they could escape the
on.
building
So they didn't
from.
have to walk through the.
So they kicked Getke out of his
Aw.
classroom for an hour so that they could teach this class. I think it's so funny.
I remember Mr. Motorson had like the classroom above Mr. Getke's, and he'd dump like a bucket of water into like Mr.
I
Getke's
remember-
window every once in a
Yeah.
while, and it's just like, what the
I
hell?
remember him talking about dropping one of those like dead cats that they dissect into
Oh,
the window.
I had to do that. I didn't do that at Mount Michael. I did that at Westside.
I would
Dissecting
not
the
want to do
cat.
that. But I know he talked
was
about
interesting.
dropping that down the window too. I'm sure he never actually did it, but
Yeah.
it was on the table, so to speak.
We had to dissect a lung at one point. It was like a sheep lung, but they just like give you a lung and like they demonstrate like our like anatomy teacher comes out with like an air pump, like one of those like step ones that you step on like inflate your bike, like old school like style to inflate your bike tire, and he like jams it into I don't remember what the is it the trachea that goes in the lungs. Call Frankie real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure it's the cochlea.
Yeah, the
according to Mr. Photoshop, I
the
believe.
cochlea, the Coca-Cola or whatever he called
The
it.
Coca-Cola.
The
of
Coca-Cola.
Lord. Yeah.
But yeah, no, so they jam this air pump into the lung. He's like, all right, now pump this. And he has me step on it and he inflates the lung. He's like, look how big these suckers get. Like, you fit a lot of air in these. And I'm like, yep,
Okay.
yeah, I see it.
I understand.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like,
Well, all right. Somehow we got onto all that. So basically, Pen 15, big thumbs up. Loved
big
it.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Big Pen 15 up for that one.
This is a family show, Chris.
I'm-
Knock that off. Come on, clean up your act. All right. Okay, we're gonna get kicked out any second.
Yeah.
The boss is right
Yeah.
outside the.
The landlord is waiting with his ear up against the door.
Yeah. Instead of listening to the live stream, he's right at the door.
He's
doesn't-
doing both.
He won't listen to the show
He's got the live stream in one ear and he's got his ear
just in
to
case.
avoid that delay. As soon as we
Oh,
almost say
God.
something. Yeah.
Do you remember when we were doing the YouTube stuff for Abe, and there was
Yeah.
like the 5-second delay if
Oh, it
we
was
tried to listen
terrible.
to the show? So
Yeah.
it's like I can't really listen to even make sure that the show's on because it just throws off my concentration.
Mhm. Well, there'd be so many times where we're like, we think it's going. Like, and other times it'd be like dead on YouTube, but it was still streaming somewhere else, and it's just like, what is happening?
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
boy.
a grand old time.
Anyway,
Who else do we have for? What else reviews do you have? Do you have anything else?
yeah, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Okay.
That's correct.
So I'll say this. I thought it was kind of a mixed season. There were some highs, some lows. I think for the most part, they have the right,
That's kind of how the Twilight Zone works. Though,
Yeah.
you know,
they've got the right mix of what they need to make it really fun.
that's good. That's a
And
good-
they
yeah.
like they do a pretty good job with having some sort of commentary in the episodes, but also trying to have fun elements to the episodes themselves.
Mhm.
Ones where they kind of seem to just run out of steam instead of having a good ending. Like
Oh.
the one thing the old show always had going for it is there was always a good ending.
Was it always good though, or was it always just like an out of left field? Like, what's the weirdest?
But that's
like,
fine.
Switch we can
Whatever.
throw in
I
at
mean,
the end. Yeah.
My standards aren't so high for this because
Yeah.
it's still the Twilight Zone. And I'll say, like, overall, I enjoyed the season. Not all the episodes were great. But
Okay.
then, so the final episode, from the trailer, it looked like it was going to be some thriller starring Seth Rogen. And I was like,
that sounds fun.
all right, yeah. And so it starts out that way where Seth Rogen, spoilers, by the way, I'm going to totally spoil this last episode only. It's a bad one. though.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the other ones you can enjoy on your own. So it starts with Seth Rogen writing some scene of the apocalypse. And he's like going through writer's block, calling himself, he basically has to give himself like pep talks, doesn't know how to start the screenplay or whatever he's writing. Eventually, he writes the scene of the apocalypse. Then he goes over to his window, opens up the window, and the exact scene that he wrote has come true. The world has ended the way that he wrote it would. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like cheesy, but all right, sure, fun. And then they cut back, and you realize this is a scene of them filming that scene on the set of the Twilight Zone. So it's a meta episode, and Jordan Peele starts to give his he's the narrator, so he comes in and gives his little like imagine a man or whatever.
Yeah.
But then Jordan Peele doesn't like the monologue, and so he tells that to the writer, and then the writer goes off to rewrite the monologue basically. And so Jordan Peele gives you this conversation about basically like don't get so concerned with the social commentary because it still has to be fun, essentially.
Okay.
It's, all right. And so it's like, okay, I guess it's going to be some weird meta episode. And then the writer is running through sets from previous episodes throughout the season, and she's being chased by some blurry figure who's like throwing things at her. And it's just strange more than anything else. It's not really scary.
Huh.
You're not really attached to her. And you're just like, okay, I guess I don't know. And so eventually she runs around a bunch more and weird stuff happens. But then the blurry man is revealed to be this terrible CGI version of Rod Serling, who somebody dubs really badly. And he's like, the Twilight Zone is a place for all kinds of imagination and this, that.
the scary door.
Yeah. And then he like holds out his hand, and then they walk into the opening credits of the Twilight Zone and just like walk into the outer space part. And it's
Oh,
like,
that sounds interesting to me. I'll give it a shot.
Stupid. It's
Yeah.
so dumb.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he just did this pep talk about how the episodes should be fun. They shouldn't just be commentary.
I do like the idea of like during like this weird thriller thing, like while the guy's narrating, he decides he doesn't like it, changes it, and it changes the episode kind of a thing. Like
That was- I was fine with
would
that,
be
yeah.
interesting. Like, that sounds like a good idea. I like that concept.
The problem is
It's
like it didn't go anywhere
you know,
interesting.
but it's kind of just like that Will Ferrell Stranger Than Fiction thing, where it's like just this person writing a
Yeah.
book and it affects his life. Like, it would be interesting if it was that kind of twist, you know? But,
I see what you're saying, but
yeah.
also bad CGI Rod Serling. just
Yeah,
being
no, that
like,
seems
the
like
Twilight Zone is a great show. Okay.
like and subscribe. You know,
Yeah.
our YouTube channel.
Like this was just like a weird pep
Yeah.
talk for you guys, and you
Mhm.
probably spent way more money on this dumb Rod Serling than
Yeah.
you did on all the other episodes combined.
They just reskinned that Peter Cushing from that Star Wars, where they CGI'd him in there. They just put Rod Sterling's face over his face.
Well, man, it's just like this person's doing a Rod Serling. It's like if you had somebody do it's like if you had one of us do a Rod Serling impression, where it's like I can tell you're doing a Rod Serling impression, but it doesn't really sound like him.
I couldn't do his voice.
Well, it's just like that. The intonation was right,
Yeah,
rather than
see
it
that.
actually sounding like him. And so it's like this goofy
maybe
looking.
it's an alternate
Yeah,
universe.
well,
Rod
it's like
Sterling.
video game Rod Serling being like, "They see the Twilight Zone is a great show."
video game Rod Sterling versus I don't know, someone
Video
else.
game Princess Leia.
Yeah, right. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Like, it's not. First of all, if you've never watched the original Rod Serling show,
Which
doesn't
I'm sure
mean-
plenty of people haven't, besides like 1 or 2 episodes.
So you-
like me,
you've
like
gotta be
me.
completely
You know?
confused.
Yeah.
And that's how they end their season. And that was terrible.
Huh.
I lost more faith in this reboot with that final episode than any other problem that I had with the previous 9.
Okay, interesting.
So I'm at a low point. I will still
Yeah.
probably check out the next season though, because
Renew your subscription for 1 month whenever that comes out.
yeah, I dropped it after that episode.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh boy,
You dropped
okay."
HBO yet?
No, I'm never
You
gonna
hang
drop
on to it?
HBO.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I pretty much always watch what the new HBO show is.
All right.
That's the only channel I have any loyalty to. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, they played this Game of Thrones. It was billed as kind of like a documentary explaining how the final season was made, but instead it kind of just seemed like they had a few people with cameras running around the set for the last season. So
Yeah.
it didn't really have any insights, but it was kind of interesting to see how they did it all.
It's amazing watching the drama from all that unfold, because it sounds like even a lot of the actors were not happy with the final product.
Yeah.
Which, like,
I was happy to see Dinklage say how dumb it was that they all hid in a crypt from the zombies.
yeah. Well, I mean, even his character was saying that, though, where it was like, yeah, well, I don't know. I still feel like that was kind of like a cop out, that all of a sudden he's like, oh, wake up these ones in the crypt, you know, and it's just like, I don't know.
Well, that was
I
just
feel, like,
that
I feel
was-
like it's usually like the recently dead that they pick up. Like, it's always been that throughout the thing. Like, it's always been
Still-
like the recently dead they pop up, not the ones that are like dust now.
if you can bring anybody back from the dead, I still probably wouldn't put all the women and children in a crypt.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
a dumb choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's-
that was dumb. I was glad to see someone acknowledge that was dumb.
Yeah, well, then Jamie Lannister's character, I don't remember what his actor's name is,
I don't
because
know
it's
Some
he's-
European
yeah, he's
thing.
some super European guy.
We're
But-
culturally insensitive, so
We
we're
are.
not going to try to figure it out.
Yeah,
But he's,
he
a,
was-
he's a white man.
basically he was like, hey, this whole thing with me and Brienne is really dumb. You know, it was kind of like his whole thing, and they were like, no, just do it. He's like, no, this is really dumb.
It was okay as kind of a fling, but then the way it played out was really stupid.
Yeah, it got really silly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, oh, Jamie, come back. And it's
Yeah,
just
her
like,
crying because Jamie Lannister is running off was such
It's
a
like,
dumb
you
way
are
to deal with her
yeah,
character.
she is so much tougher than that. Like,
Yeah.
that's been her whole thing, the whole show, is that, like,
Yeah.
you know, she is the one, like, literal, like, female knight kind of thing who actually goes out there and does the sword fighting stuff.
She can
you
just
know?
hook up with Podrick.
Yeah, man. He's got the magic D too.
Did you ever watch Boogie Nights?
No. Do you remember that episode where they
Yeah.
say
No,
something
that's
weird
why
about
it's
yeah,
connected to it.
it's the
So-
same thing.
Vince Mancini, who is the editor-in-chief at Film Drunk, had this really funny tweet where it's saying something like, the only thing I wanted at the Game of Thrones finale is for it to end. So Boogie Nights ends, you know, the conceit of Boogie Nights,
Yeah,
basically.
Mark
So
Wahlberg has a
same,
big dick.
same basic thing, yeah. So it ends with him giving a pep talk to this part of his body, his Pen 15, in the mirror.
His ladybird.
Yeah, kind of. And so he's like, the only thing I wanted at the Game of Thrones finale is for it to end with Podrick giving himself a pep talk the same way Mark Wahlberg does at the end of Boogie Nights.
I thought it was funny the one time no one told him to shut up, he starts singing.
Oh,
It's just like, shut the hell up, Podrick. What are you doing?
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So those are my reviews. Pen 15, big thumbs up. Twilight Zone, for the most part, thumbs up, except that finale, which sucked.
Yeah. Man, I don't have any reviews. I didn't really watch any movies.
Did you
last
listen to
week.
any new music?
I did not. I already talked about the two I was going to review last time, and I haven't actually like listened to either of those albums. So yeah, that's kind of how that
But
goes.
you did the bear homework. That's
I did the
important
bear
thing.
homework.
All right,
I looked
so
up some bears.
let's get back to the. Oh, let's do a tease of real fake news. Then we'll get
Real
back to the
fake
bears.
news. You gonna put on the theme song?
Yeah, which one was it? Slow jam. Yeah, here we go.
There we go.
What's real fake news, Chris?
Well, let me tell you about this real fake news we got here, Tom. Real fake news is this thing that I do, we all do, where I browse the most reliable news sources that I have to my disposal.
Promise in
And-
2019, nothing's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and that's half the fun is that
Yeah.
nothing's reliable anymore. So what I do is I go around, I find some headlines that are either real or fake, and I leave it up to you guys to figure out which one's which. I mean, I know the real answer, but not everyone else does. So half the fun is that I come out here with some news headlines that you're like, what the heck are you talking about? And you got to tell me if what I said is true or false. And so
we're gonna do what 3 or 4.
I got quite a few. We took like a week off.
That's true. So if you want to join in the real fake news madness, you can call in at 402-509-2194 or just talk about bears, whatever. I love
Yeah.
that I've got a show where I can say that. If you want to join in our contest or talk about bears, call in at 402-509-2194. Feel free to comment on the YouTube chat as well. Okay, so what do we have?
All right, first one first. Up just a second. Okay, I'm ready. All right. Synth repairman gets contact high from Grateful Dead's synthesizer.
Wait, say that one again.
Synth repairman gets high from Grateful Dead's 1960s vintage synthesizer.
Oh boy. Okay, next.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, scrolling. U.S. energy official rebrands fossil fuels as freedom gas.
That's true. I saw that.
Stop! No,
Yeah.
you can't do that. It's not just you.
Well, but if I know the answer, it's not fair.
Did you see even more about that when they were talking about molecules of freedom?
Yeah,
It
I
gets
did.
so
I saw
bad.
Rick Perry.
Oh my gosh, that was a good one too.
Well, that's one that shouldn't be real, but unfortunately, it is.
Skaters protest as Tony Hawk Pro Skater warehouse gets converted to luxury apartments.
Okay, I don't know.
Mountain Dew's new Liberty Brew contains 50 flavors in one drink.
Okay, so to me, that as a headline is as stupid as the molecules of freedom.
Right?
Only I know one is
it's like
true.
the same thing,
Yeah.
but one of them's with Mountain Dew and one was with oil.
Right.
Enjoy your moment of zen with Attorney General Bill Barr staring out the back of an AC-130 warplane.
Okay.
I got a few more.
All right.
New mobility startup to bring pogo sticks to American cities.
All right.
And in the theme of the month, Doritos releases rainbow-colored chips for LGBT pride.
I thought you were going to say something about bears.
No,
Dorito releases bear-flavored Doritos. All right. Is that all, or we have one more?
let me see. I got a good one.
All right.
Presidential hopeful Bill de Blasio is courting that coveted ska fan vote.
Okay.
I got a few more if you want to do some more.
Well, let's save those for the end.
Okay.
All right, we'll go through them all. So, if you want to join in Real Fake News, you can win a bumper sticker for this show for Jonas Fidala's 2020 or 2024 election. Well, I guess not necessarily election. We don't know his campaign anyway. If you want to join in the Real Fake News or the bear contest, or not contest. Oh boy, I'm getting my words all
bear
wrong.
contest. The bear show.
We'll be doing the official listing of the best bears in movie history very soon here.
Yes.
So if you want to join in, please comment or call in at 402-509-2194. All right. So we have those Real Fake Newses. We'll hang on to them.
I love the plural that. Real fake newses.
I like it too.
Newses.
Anyway, let's do the official ranking of bears. All right.
Yeah.
What other bears can you even think of? I think the Coca-Cola bears probably should be on there.
Yeah, I feel like they should too. Since we opened it up to like commercial and TV bears, they definitely count as like a TV bear. And I mean, they show those before movies a lot too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you get the Coca-Cola bears, so go at the concession stand.
Fond memories of watching some of those bear commercials.
Yeah,
As a
I
kid.
feel like they're all the same thing, where it's just like a bear and
yeah.
and
a Coke.
bottle of Coca-Cola. Yeah, and they're very simple, weirdly enough.
I enjoyed them though. There was
what-
something cute about it.
I mean, I think it's just nostalgia. It's just those, like,
Yeah,
it's just a connection to you going to movies as a kid.
That's
No, it
probably
is.
true.
Yeah.
All right. So we got.
okay.
Let's
So
go
yeah,
through the news. So we got Bad News Bears,
yes,
Revenant Bear.
which we're making it even more complicated now because they're not even an actual bear. They're just
but whatever.
they're
I'm gonna allow
okay.
it.
The bad news bears.
Yeah. Bad News Bears
Yeah.
count. The Revenant Bear, the Country Bears, Annihilation Bear, Almost Heroes Bear, Swiss Army Man Bear, Bart the Bear, who's in all sorts of movies,
Yes.
and the Coke Bears.
Coke Bears.
That's what.
You'll find them out on a Saturday night, 2 in the morning.
Oh, I was going a
Club.
different direction. I was thinking
I was
the
like-
Coke Bears who own all the corporations in America
Yeah,
really lobby
yeah.
hard. Oh boy! Alrighty, this is quite a show. What other bears have we not thought of?
I'm trying to think like TV. Bear in the Big Blue House.
What's that?
There was a kids show with a bear in a big blue house. You'll remember it as soon as you see a picture of him.
Okay, I did.
That was
I've seen this one
was
too, twice.
definitely after my time, but I remember seeing like you flip through channels and it's like, oh, look at that, look, I'm a bear in a house.
Does he do anything fun?
I think he's Fozzie Bear. There's another one. Sorry, I'm coming up with ideas. We didn't put Smokey the Bear on there. Sea
Well,
Cat.
because Smokey's lame. Tell
Yeah.
me not to smoke.
I love lighting fires in forests.
I love fires.
Yeah, you do. For those of you that don't know, fire is one of the few things in life that Tom the only thing that I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. One of the more primal things that Tom enjoys would be a fire. I love fire too, and I love sitting around a campfire and whatnot. But
Everyone makes fun of the fact that I
Yeah.
love fires.
well,
though.
you're such an indoor cat. I think is what it is. It's
I can like fires still,
it's
though.
like-
You know.
It's just funny. It's like you're definitely like an indoor person, but you're also like, I want to light a fire right now.
I'm not that much.
But
of
I
an
need a
indoor
fire
person.
pit.
I'm not like
You're a teacher.
I'm not climbing roofs or anything or climbing cliffs necessarily.
You're an indoor cat.
But indoor cats like the outdoors too. Is the thing. You open a window,
But the outdoors doesn't like that.
they run over there and they look out that window.
Do they?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh man, Schrodinger did the greatest escape. I feel like it was
Did he make it out the door?
it was hilarious. So I feel like it's like those heist movies where they plan it for 6 months to get the exact math correctly right. So Frankie opens the door. I think she just was like doing something outside. So she has a couple things in her hand.
yeah.
Schrodinger seemed to know that. So that screen door we have. There's no actual screen, but it's got little like squares of metal across it, and
That's-
so
A screen of metal.
it's not really a screen because they're bigger blobs than there would be with a screen. But there's one part toward the bottom, so it's basically like interconnected squares for most of it, and then there's this rectangle that's pretty thin. It's probably like I don't know, like 5 or 6 inches or something, but it goes across the whole door. So Frankie has the door open. She's coming inside. Schrodinger runs up the stairs, jumps through that little spot
No way.
below it, makes it,
What?
jumps outside, runs into the yard.
Did Frankie get him?
Yeah, she got it. But
Oh man.
well, when he's escaped in the past, she's gotten him because like he'll be running outside and then he sees a beautiful butterfly and just kind of stops and looks at
Whoa.
it. Then she grabs him and brings him back. But the fact that he got the math completely right, he's like, I
Yeah,
can make this.
he did it perfectly. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
It's like he waited. He's like, okay, she's gonna do yard work today. She's gonna have the tools. All right, I got.
he got it right, dude. He did it.
I know it's so funny.
I'm proud of him.
I'm proud of him too. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's a small gap to shoot. He made it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but bears.
Yeah. How do we? Oh yeah, Smokey Bear's off the list because I like fires.
Yeah, bottom of the list.
Not
Bottom
forest
of the
fires.
list.
I don't
Bottom
like
of the list.
forest fires, but I like
Yeah.
to go out and like if I'm gonna be like camping.
I feel like
I'd
propaganda
like to have a
bears
fire.
definitely fall at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, that's true.
Propaganda.
I don't like any bear that tells me what to do.
Yeah.
Frankly. Okay, so are there any other bears that we're missing here?
Probably.
Is this all the bears? Yogi
what
Bear
was
sucked.
that animated one with the bears? The two
Care Bears? Yogi
There
Bear?
are the Care Bears. Did we put Yogi Bear? back?
Yogi Bear's annoying. I don't like Yogi
Yeah.
Bear. He's actually
Ooh.
topless. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his thing?
Brother Bear. There we go.
Brother Bear.
With The two bears. Yeah.
Eh.
I mean, that's like it's
I don't care.
two brothers.
Two brother bears. What was Yogi Bear's thing?
He liked picnic baskets.
He had some kind of phrase though, didn't he?
Hey, boo boo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Annoying.
Because the little bear was named Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Hey, boo boo.
He's off the list.
And he's like
he is-
picnic baskets because that's the thing that people had back in the day, supposedly.
I feel like I always was too young to watch that
Winnie
show.
the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. It's kind of just depressed, isn't he? Though.
And that's Eeyore.
Yeah, but they're all kind of sad.
Eeyore's very depressed.
Wasn't Winnie the Pooh always sad?
No, it's Eeyore.
No, I
No,
feel
it's
like,
literally Eeyore.
I think there was
Winnie
always
the Pooh was the optimistic one.
There was this sad element to it though. Like he felt like Winnie didn't quite believe the nice things he said about the future.
No, I was definitely Eeyore.
It's like
Eeyore was the whole point of Eeyore was he was depressed. That was the whole thing.
things will be okay.
Do you remember the trailers for that horrifying looking Christopher Robin movie?
Yeah.
Where like Winnie the Pooh's like this raggedy ass like torn up bear, and you're just like, oh my god! Like,
I do. Yeah.
Did I send you that picture where it was him? He's standing on like a counter above like Christopher Robin. It's like I have the high ground, Christopher Robin.
No, you didn't say that.
It's over.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, it looked terrifying. I was like, everyone's like, oh, this movie looks so cute, and I'm like, no, dude, look at that bear. It looks like you like stepped on it, threw it out in the dirt, and it like came back to find you. It looks like Chucky, but the bear, Chucky the bear.
Chucky the bear. That's a good way to talk about it. So somebody actually
bears.
Franks to the Past just commented again. He says, "Have you not worked it out yet?
Worked what out yet?
The best bears."
No, we've not.
He's like, "You still doing that?"
We're working on it.
All
We're
right.
getting there.
So yeah, I'm going to say Winnie the Pooh's off. I never really liked Winnie the Pooh. Did you like Winnie the Pooh as a kid?
My mom's a big Winnie the Pooh person, so I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Any other bears you can even think of?
Do you have any?
I mean, there's been bear attacks and things. You know, like there's a bear in Without a Paddle.
I
Throws
don't know, that's
Seth Green around. God, what other bears are there?
Anchorman bears.
Oh, Anchorman bears.
Do they count?
That's right. Stefan
The
said that. Was
Fuzzy tractor bears.
fuzzy. Oh, I'm riding a furry
Furry
tractor.
tractor.
Yeah. Anchorman. It took me like 10 years to realize that it's funny that the climax of that movie is a fight with bears.
Yeah, because of the joke they make
Yeah.
earlier about
Like,
how,
that just
yeah.
went way over
Yeah,
my
I
head
know.
forever.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Then at some point it occurred to me, like, oh, that's actually
that's why
hilarious.
they woke up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they could smell it. So
That-
I mean, it adds layers to the
so many layers to that movie.
so many onions in that movie.
Isn't it weird how Adam McKay makes that great movie? That's his first movie.
Yeah,
Makes a bunch of pretty lame Will Ferrell movies, and then bounces back with The Big Short and Vice.
Vice was really good. I enjoyed The Big Short.
Yeah,
I like
those are both great.
Margaret. So this part's really complicated. So we have Margot Robbie in a bathtub explain it to you. It's like okay, whatever you say, movie.
It's like Adam McKay just had to actually be a little bit personal about things that actually irritate him. And once he did that, he makes these great movies again. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
it's really weird.
between Anchorman and Big Short, it's like, I don't know, it's just a bunch of.
Well, and you think that he would have just stuck with the like weird, like not spoof improv comedy kind of thing, you know?
Yes.
Like, and it was such a strange jump to political, mostly documentary comedy, and it's like,
Yeah, good.
yeah, it's a very, yeah,
I'm trying to remember. Stefan had posted 2 suggestions. One of them was the Anchorman Bears, which I think are very good. I love that conversation between Baxter and the Bears. Any other ones you can think of before we do the official ranking?
That's all I have off the top of my head. Do we have any input from the fans besides hurry the heck up?
Somebody
And
said-
rank the Bears.
Somebody said something about some movie called The Bear that came out in 1988 that I don't know that
I
I've
wasn't
heard
alive
of.
then. I don't know that
Then
one.
someone else said we stocked those movies on a special shelf in the back room.
Yeah,
So
see, they get it.
Yeah,
That's
That's
where
from,
Brother Bear's
our
hiding.
boy,
That's where Brother Bear was.
somebody by the name of Deceased
Yeah.
commented on that one. So shout out there, Deceased, on the same page with Chris. Thinking dirty. In that case,
Yeah.
which some people do. But this is a family show. I just want to reiterate. Only families listen to the show together.
Yeah, it's
a bunch of
family
families
show.
together.
It's a family.
I like to think that they sit around the dinner table eating a late dinner
and their fire pit.
and they turn on this Bluetooth speaker.
Yep.
They've got it playing, and it's all they want to hear. Is this show? Oh, the bear from AI,
Never saw that one.
creepy little teddy bear thing.
Nope.
Oh man, I can't see what this is. He posted 2 links. What do you think it is? What do you think, Stefan? So he picked Anchorman, and what do you think the other one would be?
Stefan, something inappropriate.
Our boy Stefan.
It's probably, I don't know. Appropriate is all I can guess. A nun.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's. I've had to put him on mute.
What is that?
I
Wow.
clicked the wrong one.
It's so loud.
That was the Anchorman one. Sorry, everybody. This is kind of boring.
This is the medium roast with Chris Fago and Tom Noblock. Over there's Tom Noblock.
Call in at 402-509-2194.
Did we lose our Spancer? We haven't done
So
it.
with a nationwide annuity, you can get protected monthly income for the rest of your life. That's what I'm talking
Now
about.
it's
How about
stuck
those
playing
song
this thing. Oh boy. Oh god.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out what Stefan. Okay, Hercules. Apparently Hercules, he fights a bear in the old TV show. So,
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I'll do an ad read. What do you want?
Well, I don't know. Oh, you mean celebrity ad read?
Yeah.
Read it as a bear. Read it as Fozzie Bear, obviously.
How does he? He's like,
Hey, everybody! I can't do it as well.
that's
as Ben
just
does.
Ben's. What started?
Yeah, where's Ben? Where's Ben when we need him?
Friday. I feel like I sound like Kermit the Frog.
That's pretty
Now
much the Fozzie Bear voice.
Known as BFF. Same great people.
That's Kermit the Frog.
I don't know. I don't know the difference.
Oh, I feel like all he ever says is "Hey, everybody." So-
Hey everybody.
Hey,
Okay, but I guess that's
everybody.
it's not on the words that I should be saying right now.
Well, just throw it into the beginning and then just read it normally.
Give me a better.
I don't have any. Alec Baldwin.
It's just gonna sound like Batman.
Okay.
What started as how let me find it. Lemon. Good God, Lemon. What started as Benson First Friday. I don't know.
Batman's first Friday.
Yeah. He's now officially known as BFF. Same great people, same great organization, new name. This change will help BFF reach new communities as we continue to grow. BFF is dedicated to supporting the region's emerging and established artists by creating opportunity, exposure, and experiences that help them move forward, while enriching the cultural competency of the greater Omaha area. BFF to the arts, BFF to the community, BFF. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Frankie was listening to Beatles radio.
Oh, yeah?
Alec Baldwin.
Okay, so I'm gonna sidetrack you. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
all right.
Have you seen that trailer that's for this awful movie that's coming out about the Beatles? But it's not about the Beatles. It's even
don't
worse
think
than
so,
that.
no.
It's even worse than just a movie about the Beatles.
Explain.
The premise of this movie is this guy gets in like a car accident or something like that, and when he wakes up, he's the only person that remembers the Beatles, and so he just steals
Yeah.
all their music.
I forgot about that. Yes.
And it's like, what kind of stupid excuse is this for a Beatles musical? Like, it looks
Because
so
it's cheaper
dumb. It's so
than-
dumb. Well, and you already explained the twist because you told us what happened with he gets in a car accident and he's the only person who remembers the Beatles. It's
Well-
very clear that either he's like in his own little fantasy land in a coma or something like that, or yada yada yada.
I
Like
don't know.
it's so stupid. I was like, it's like one of those things to see an ad for. And I'm like, really? That's what you're gonna make? Is you're gonna make that movie?
I saw a very funny joke about this movie that I think about a lot,
Yeah.
which is they were like, "What if it was Tom Waits instead of the Beatles?" And he's like, "You don't remember that guy?" He's like,
Right? If he just picks someone that no one already knows anyways, and it's like,
but like somebody who just sounds as dumb as Tom Waits if it's not Tom Waits specifically.
oh my gosh.
That ruined that entire movie for me because I think of that and I laugh almost every time.
It's already going to be a bad movie. It was ruined for you before it even happened.
Did you
Don't worry.
watch Across the Universe?
No, I did not because I don't care.
It was,
I'm
you
that
know,
guy.
I didn't really like it when I watched it the first time. I've seen it once since, and I think if you think of it as like a series of music videos, it's interesting as a narrative. Yeah, there's not really much there,
dumb.
but the worst thing about it is, like all the actors are decent singers. Like it's all right. It is what it is. But
Mhm.
then they got Bono shows up.
Ah.
Bono sings,
and no one wants Bono anywhere.
No.
Like, get out of here, Bono.
Bono shows up and sings
Yeah.
"I Am the Eggman," and you're like, how, of all the artists
Bono.
who probably would love to come sing a Beatles song in this Beatles cover movie, essentially, how did Bono get that invite?
Because he's a famous person. That's how.
I'd rather watch.
had Bono beat John Lennon?
Oh my god! I don't even want to know. Frank's to the Past has posted the cover to some movie called Grizzly Rage,
Oh,
which
I know a good movie, Bear.
okay, what?
In Hobo with a Shotgun, Rutger Hauer goes on this really stupid out of nowhere speech about how bears will do anything to protect their young and all this other stuff. Then he falls asleep snuggled up in like a bear like blanket with like a picture, and it's really bizarre. But it's kind of just him going on and on about bears for like 5 minutes, then he just kind of falls asleep on this girl's couch. And
That sounds
it's
strange.
very strange, and it's also the bad guy from Blade Runner. So it's kind of
I
like
know,
you're like, huh? And it's like,
Well, they have a blurb on the cover of Grizzly Rage
Grizzly.
that is not attributed to anybody.
Oh,
I guess it's no, I guess it's just a tagline, but it's in the font that blurbs tend to be in. It
Yeah.
says "ripped apart at the screams." So do what you
I
want
like
with
it.
that information.
There was some underpaid guy at whatever company this was who was like, as he typed it, kind of just giggled a little bit. Oh man!
Also,
I like that guy. Whoever wrote
Frank's to the Past has also posted a Danny DeVito poster called Jack the Bear. I have no idea what that movie
that
is.
sounds familiar. Let me see the picture. Turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around.
It's Danny DeVito with a child and
What?
another child, I think.
I
have no idea
The
what
name
that is.
sounds
I don't know.
familiar, and I don't know why.
Somebody said,
Paddington.
yeah,
That's another one. I heard
Kids
that movie.
movie.
I heard that was a good kids movie though. I mean, not the
probably, but I don't know. I just talked to Diana Martinez. She's the
Yeah.
education director at Film Streams.
Oh yeah.
I almost got her to admit
Is that
that
the thing they have?
that kids movies suck.
Oh yeah, almost.
Because she was talking about how she was allowed to watch basically whatever her parents watch,
Yeah.
which I was like, oh yeah, that's what it was like for me too. And I was like, don't you just think, that's actually way better? Like, does it actually matter if you censor it? And then she gave some answer, but it's like,
Well, see, and I've always heard like it's. I mean, to me, it's the same thing as like people tell you when you have kids, like talk to your kids like an adult.
yeah,
Because
you're like,
if you talk to them like kids all the time, they're not gonna adjust. It's like crap. I talk to my siblings like they're adults. I tell them to shut up. I'm like, dude, shut up.
they're like, can we go to the store? And you're
Like,
like, don't
no.
you know life is
I'm
meaningless?
like, she's like, yeah, no. Grace would be like, can we do this? I'm like, are you gonna drive? She's like, no, I don't know how to drive. I'm like, okay, then no. It's like, yeah, it's like-
Well, another one. So, artificial counterintelligence posts saying the Edge had a bear in it, a racist bear.
The Edge. Oh, that was a movie. Just a racist bear. Does it only kill the black guy or what?
I don't know.
He goes the only black guy in the movie. Anthony Hopkins.
Bjorn from The Hobbit.
Bjorn from the
That's that guy who goes into bear mode and then
Oh.
comes out of bear mode, I think.
Oh, is he like a bear person thing?
I guess.
I don't know.
He posted a picture. It says Bjorn the Berserker, which just makes me
Yeah.
think of Clerks.
Berserker.
Anyway, all right. Let's do the official ranking. Let's go.
The
Let's
official
do it.
ranking.
All right, the official ranking of the Bears. If you want to join in for that or real fake news, you can always call in at 402-509-2194.
Our list is so bad.
All right, so let's go through it again. So we got Bad News Bears, the Revenant Bear, the Country Bears, Annihilation Bear, Almost Heroes Bear, Swiss Army Man Bear, Bart the Bear, who's been in all kinds of movies, including The Edge,
Bart the Bear.
the Koch brothers. I mean the Koch Bears, Big Blue House Bear, Fozzie Bear, and Anchorman Bears. That's those are the ones who made
That's
the
all we
final list.
got.
Let's narrow it down to 5. Who do you think the top 5 bears are?
I'm definitely putting Annihilation Bear up in there because I'm biased.
Okay, I'll put a little star next to it until we figure it out.
Coca-Cola Bears because Coke is better than Pepsi. Bart the Bear because he's an actual bear. That
Yeah, I think if we don't nominate Bart the Bear, there is no
he,
justice.
He actually acted. Fozzie Bear for just
Nah,
no
veto.
veto.
I'm gonna
what
Pete
you
Ricketts
all right,
that.
it's your turn. Your turn. What you got?
All
All the other ones suck.
the fact that I remember and you remember the Country Bears this far down
Yeah,
the
we
road,
should put
I'm
him in the
gonna say
list.
that
Put him in
makes
the
it-
list. Do it. Yeah.
And then I think Anchorman Bears are just—it's a clever
Ooh,
joke.
better than Revenant Bears?
You know what? Okay, let me talk about that for a second because what
Yeah.
makes me sad is that the Revenant Bear was just a mama bear protecting her little cubs. Because
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio's a fur guy,
But
So he's-
wasn't he also protecting his cub though?
he was, but he's out there
He
just
was also
killing,
protecting his cub. He had
he's
to do the same
slaughtering
thing.
animals.
I feel like I didn't notice that until now, but I feel like that's probably like a similar thing. Is like both of them were just protecting what like their quote unquote.
But
kid,
also,
you
he's
know?
a fur trapper, so he's
Yeah.
killing almost all the animals in America. And so I don't like.
I-
I was rooting for the bear.
So I
Yeah.
heard in the original book that it's based off of, like, or the actual life or whatever. It's a real story. It's a true
It's a
story
real
or something
story.
like
Do you
that.
know
But
where it took
there was
place?
also a book though.
Do you know
wasn't
where
there?
it happened?
No.
Nebraska.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can
Okay.
you imagine?
But
why
anyways.
that movie took place in Nebraska.
I heard that Leo's character in real life actually was just trying to get his stuff back and not save his kid. Like
Yeah, they made
essentially
up
is
the
what
kid.
it was. But yeah, it's like he's just kind of like wanted his crap back. And the kid was just kind of like added in because like no one would care if it's just like Leo wants his gun back.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but it's a movie. Whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's still
Yeah.
anyways, it kind of like destroys the whole thing.
You know,
that,
the most unrealistic thing is that Nebraska looks nothing like that.
No, I know. They made it look like some beautiful
Yeah,
country.
man,
Like,
cool. Look
yeah.
cool.
I know. I was like, where's that part of Nebraska?
Isn't that crazy? How does nobody know that movie took place in Nebraska? You know how I figured out it took
Because
place
they
in
don't even
Nebraska?
mention it in the movie.
When I went to Wyoming, we went to this like Mountain Man Museum, which
Yeah.
had a huge. It was like a sculpture
Of a mountain man.
of Hugh Glass and the bear, and it said took place in Nebraska.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Hugh Glass.
And I learned from a Mountain Man Museum in Wyoming that took place in Nebraska. I
That's
saw
so
that movie
funny.
in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about the
No.
fact that it took place in Nebraska. We should be happy about that,
We
right?
should, but Nebraska doesn't look like that. That's not even.
Yeah, but
It
still,
does, the movie doesn't take place in Nebraska. The actual story took place in Nebraska. How about
Nebraska
that?
Film Association probably was so excited
Yeah.
that that movie,
Oh, be here.
a real Nebraska
Matt
story.
Damon's going to be here to film this movie that takes place in Nebraska.
We got one. I'm gonna go Anchorman as my final one.
is the
You cool with that?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right.
The Swiss Army Man Bear is only there for like a couple minutes. I haven't seen Almost Heroes. Revenant Bear, yeah, just kind of gets slowly murdered by Leo. The Bad News Bears aren't even bears. No one besides the Ben does. The Big Blue House bear. I'd never watched, so I just put him on there because I knew it was a bear in a big blue house.
Okay, so we were down to the finals, which are Anchorman Bears, the Country Bears, Annihilation Bear, Bart the Bear, and the Coke Bears.
I mean, if we're going on pure scare me as much as a real bear probably would in real life, I'll go with the Annihilation Bear as my number one personally. What do you think?
I think because that was not a real bear and Bart the Bear is a real bear, I would feel bad if we didn't give first place to Bart the Bear.
Fair enough.
Because he was probably in every single movie that needed a bear for a while there.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
So, okay.
Which I feel like was a thing, like in the 90s, was like, just put a bear in the movie.
How about we go Bart the Bear number 1,
Okay,
Annihilation Bear number 2.
deal.
3, this is close. Between
I'm
Coke Bears,
gonna
Country
give
Bears,
it to the
and-
Coca-Cola Bears just out
Yeah,
of pure
alright.
like recognizability.
Sure, they're
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, well, I mean, who doesn't love a polar bear? Like that was one of my favorite parts of like going to our zoo over here.
Coke
You
Brothers
got some
hate
polar
the
bears. Yeah.
Coke Bears.
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, I don't know. They probably paid them off in some way, shape, or form. So.
Yeah. Coke Bears are polluting glass all over the Arctic. All right, so we're down either 4th or 5th. The Country Bears versus the Anchorman Bears.
I'm gonna give Anchorman above Country Bears. I don't know about you, but all right. Should we keep ranking the rest now, though? So that's a
Yeah.
top 5. Let's go all the way down the bottom. Which ones do you think? Okay, number 6.
Revenant Bear probably gets
Revenant Bear?
Yeah. It was a bear.
Okay.
Bad News Bears, I feel like should be 7.
Yeah.
So, all right, you pick the next 2.
Oh gosh, that's hard. Okay, so my options are Almost Heroes Bear, Swiss Army Man Bear, Big Blue House Bear, Fozzie Bear. I'm gonna give Fozzie Bear
All right.
just because who doesn't like the Muppets? I mean, yeah, sure, screw it.
Yeah, okay.
Alright,
next.
next would also probably be Almost Heroes or Swiss Army Man. Swiss Army Man Bear is not really in it much, so I'm tempted to put it down at the bottom.
We've
and then-
heard the entire scene from Almost Heroes, so
Oh
You got
well,
that too.
put that one above Swiss Army Man Bear.
all right. So
Yeah.
9, 10, 11.
Big Blue House is the worst bear.
All right, so
The
here's
worst bear in Hollywood.
the official ranking from bottom to top. Number 11, the Big Blue House Bear. Number 10, the bear in Swiss Army Man. Number 9, the Almost Heroes Bear. Number 8, Fozzie Bear. Number 7, the Bad News Bears, who are not bears, but yeah, whatever.
They they aspired to be bears.
Stop being so picky.
Maybe they
all
grew
right?
up. Maybe they grew up to be bears.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what's a bear and what's not?
Walter Matthau.
Number 6, Revenant Bear. Number 5, the Country Bear.
You laugh every time.
Number 4,
Number 5, the Country
Anchorman Bears. Number 3, the Coke Bears. Number 2, the Annihilation Bear. And number 1, the best bear, the best movie bear of all time, Bart the Bear.
Bart the Bear.
You know what surprised
he's
me?
he's like one of the original movie
Yeah.
bears. Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
his thing.
We actually did a better job with number 1 than I thought we would.
I don't think you expected to find a real bear
No.
to put in first place. You just
I-
thought this was gonna be some silly thing.
I didn't put any effort into
Yeah.
finding a real bear.
That was
so-
just one of the first few things that like came up when I was looking for bears in Hollywood. And I was just like, yeah. So,
All right.
Bart the Bear.
Well, we have an official ranking.
Official.
So, Franks to the Past says there's that koala bear in that one Disney movie.
Oh, there was Baloo in. I actually meant to
Oh.
bring this up. Okay, so the Jungle Book. Where does that movie take place?
I don't know, Africa or Asia or
There
something.
are no bears in Africa, are there?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I feel like. I mean, there's panda bears.
It's also like talking animals.
There's like.
Oh, Franks to the Past
I feel
says
like-
Kung Fu Panda and Kung Fu Panda 2.
I guess that kind of counts if you count a panda bear, but I feel like they're the pacifist bears. I don't know if they count. They're
Most
like-
violent bears is not the qualification. here.
I don't know. It kind of helps though.
All right. Well, I think we got to figure it out. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baloo probably should be on the
like-
list, but we
like,
forgot about it.
Like I don't. I feel like I feel like the movie does take place in Africa, but he's also like just like a big like bear. Like what kind of like are there bears in Africa? I want to know.
I don't know. That
Apparently, there's none in Omaha, so I mean, we should make.
Yeah, let's
I
make that
loved
completely
that post you put. Like, does Crystal think there's bears in Omaha?
this is like Ugg probably, or he has changed.
I love that. What I would comment on it if it would let me comment as anybody other than the medium roast. So unfortunately, my hands are tied.
What would you have commented and said?
I would have voted for both, if I could. Just to like skew it like evenly both ways. Yeah.
Well, okay. So Rudyard Kipling probably didn't know a whole lot about Africa. Would be my
I feel
guess.
like the person that wrote the original Jungle Book probably did though.
That's Rudyard Kipling.
Who?
Rudyard Kipling.
Did you Google "Are there bears in Africa"?
Oh no, I was just seeing where it even takes place. So he lived in India as a child. So it might take place in India, actually.
Yeah, there are tigers and whatnot in bear in
Are there bears
India.
there?
I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure that there are
Oh,
bears.
There's one native bear in Africa. one actually native bear, the Atlas bear, who looks just like a small grizzly bear.
But are there bears in India? That's the real question.
I don't know.
Anyway, we got our bears. We figured it out. A Franks to the Past also says there was the bear in the Gold Compass movie.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the bear. No, the bear wasn't God. Someone else is God, and they killed him, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that how it works? I don't remember. I didn't watch
That's
that.
been a
It
long
was a
time.
kids movie
Yeah.
about killing God.
Dumb.
Yeah, I already did that.
All right. So to recap, final ranking.
Do it
Number
again.
5, Country Bears. Number 4, I lost it. Where's number 4? Oh, Anchorman Bears. Number 3, the Coke Bears. Number 2, the Annihilation Bear. And number 1, Bart the Bear.
Bart the bear.
We figured it out. We did it.
We done dang did it, dude.
And I'm happy about that. Now, I think the only thing that's left is the answers to the real fake newses. So-
Real fake news. Real fake news.
All right, real fake news time. If you want to get in, this is your last opportunity to either comment on the YouTube chat or call in at 402-509-2194. All right.
All right. Synth Repairman accidentally gets contact high from handling Grateful Dead's old equipment. I reworded it a little bit so it's less weird, but yeah, it's hard to read.
False.
That one's true.
Oh!
Apparently, there is a bunch of tabs of LSD. Like they've been sitting in this equipment for so long that like when he took it apart and put it back together, and he started tripping from it. And that is a real story. I tried. That came out on multiple different
That
sites.
sounds like the kind of story you'd make up about your
I know.
band.
Well, about Grateful Dead, especially.
that
Like
band,
it's
yeah.
so perfect. Yeah. All right, one more. The one you already spoiled was U.S. Energy official rebrands fossil fuels as freedom gas, which
We're
is
a very
awful.
stupid country.
Yeah. Skaters protest after Tony Hawk Pro Skater Warehouse converted into luxury apartments.
True.
That's false.
Oh, I'm doing terribly. 0 for 2.
New Mountain Dew flavor combines 50 flavors into one drink.
True.
Oh, it's true.
Oh, I was gonna get.
It's called the Liberty Brew.
Oh my god, that sounds so gross.
I know. What can you all right, list off 50 flavors?
In general,
Yeah, like just in general.
I don't know, like potato,
Potato.
tomato, tomato.
I'll even let you count those as 4, and then we'll see if you can still do 50.
elder,
50 different flavors.
Elderberry.
Do you even
that
know
a
that?
thing?
Have you had like a Saint Germain? No, it's elderflower, but I think the
Elderflower.
elderberry is from an elderflower.
Oh, okay.
It's
I don't know.
really good though, because
Um,
it's basically something you add into your champagne to make it a little more boozy, but it's surprising.
Oh.
They mix really well, surprisingly. Very good.
grain,
Yeah.
hops, strawberry,
Yeah.
banana,
Hops. Yeah. See, and you're putting all these into a
Beef.
in a can of Mountain Dew.
chicken,
Chicken, pork,
bear.
bear. Yeah, I've had bear jerky before.
What?
Yeah,
What?
dude.
You didn't bring this
eaten
up
bear.
until like an hour
I
and 20
forgot.
minutes into the
Yeah,
episode.
no. Okay, so this is like a long time ago. Like one of my
One of-
one of my dad's friends. Sorry,
Speaking of bears,
stop the
one of Chris's dads.
One of my dads brought some jerky home. No, but I was at like this is way back in the day. I was at my dad's work, and one of his friends was like he had just gotten back from like hunting up north in like Canada, and he goes like bear hunting.
you're not
apparently.
supposed to eat bear though, aren't you? I thought like you can get parasites or something from.
I mean, if you cook it and clean it properly, you're fine. But yeah, he made bear jerky apparently. I don't know.
How was it?
It tasted like steak. I mean, it just kind of tasted like dried meat.
Did you get the taste for bear?
Yeah, no, I can't live off
This
anything.
is
other
why
than
you
bear.
always talk about wanting to kill bears.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Next fake news. Next real fake news.
Ooh, Freudian
Ooh.
slip.
Yeah. Enjoy your moment of zen with with Attorney General Bill Barr as you stare at the back of an AC-130 warplane.
It seems true to me. True.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's this really funny video where apparently like his like just do like the flight scheduling and whatnot. He got stuck like on the back of like this warplane, which AC-130s are crazy. They've got like huge guns and they just like fly up. Like
He got stuck on it?
no, he had to ride one of those instead of
Oh.
like the usual plane.
Oh,
Like
okay,
he was
okay.
on a tour in Iraq basically or something. Was it in Iraq? It was somewhere in tour of Alaska. Weirdly enough, sorry.
Oh.
But no, so yeah, these planes are huge and they've got like huge guns on. Like if you think like you see like those videos where it's got like the night vision camera and they're like just
Guns almost
rain-
as big as
rain-
William Barr's.
raining fire down upon the poor brown people of whatever country they're flying over, basically. But it's one of those planes, yeah. So it's kind of funny just watching this video where he's like staring out this porthole, like just staring.
That guy's got such a weird hair dye job. In the wrong light, it looks purple.
Oh gosh, I did not see that. No, weird.
Anyway,
All right, next one. Mobility startup to bring pogo sticks to American cities.
True.
That's true. Isn't that awful?
My default is just all of these could be true.
I know.
in
Well, that's
2019.
your just safe guess is like just guess if they're true.
Yeah.
Which yeah. But
All
no, yeah. So it's kind of like those scooters that we've seen rolling around town right now. But
That's crazy. Don't you feel old when
Pogo
you see
stick.
those scooters and you see people on them? I feel like an old man.
I was out over at this bar over on the corner, and we're sitting on the back patio having a beer, and these people are rolling by on like literally rolling by on these scooters. Like, for those of you that don't know, there's some weird startup thing going around Omaha right now where it's like a weird like Uber type thing where you download an app on your phone and you can rent these electric scooters. They're just like sitting out on street corners, like they're just sitting there. And you can rent out these scooters, and it's like 30 something cents a minute or whatnot, and you can roll around town to get wherever you got to go on these stupid electric scooters. But for some reason, you can only ride them in the street now, I guess. Like, they passed something where like they're not allowed on sidewalks, only in the street.
What? Why? Who cares if they're on the sidewalk?
Because they're motorized vehicles or something like that. Yeah. And when they don't want people running into people who are walking, so they'd rather have people on scooters run into drunk people in cars. Basically, is what they're saying.
People already ride scooters on sidewalks.
Yeah,
and like skateboards.
It's weird. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like that, but with pogo sticks apparently, which sounds like the worst thing ever.
I feel like incredibly old when I talk about these kids on their scooters riding around town.
Oh yeah, but I forgot. I accidentally came back to the wrong end of my story there. But yeah, no. So we're sitting on the back patio of this bar chilling, and like we see these guys rolling down the street on their patios, and this guy's like, "Do a kickflip," and this other guy's like, "Eat shit," and it's just like.
That's the spectrum.
It was so funny. Yeah, that's just like,
oh man, these kids on their scooters.
Right. It's a really weird, whatever that is. All right, next fake news. Next real fake news.
Boy,
fake real fake real news fake real.
Or is it?
All right,
trying to trick me. What do you think?
I have no idea.
Comment.
I don't even know anymore. All right, Doritos releases rainbow-colored chips for LGBT pride. I cannot say that right.
My problem here is I don't know what a rainbow tastes like. Skittles.
Rainbow-colored chips, Tom.
True.
That one's true.
Oh,
that one was in Time Magazine. That was my source for that one. Wow, look at that.
I buy it.
Who'd have think they'd post a fake sounding real news story, right? All right, I've got one that I didn't tease earlier, though. Let me roll back a little bit. Oh, no, there was one I mentioned earlier that I didn't get to. All right. Presidential hopeful Bill de Blasio is courting the coveted ska fan vote.
Everything is so stupid in 2019 that I'm inclined to say true.
God damn it. Yeah, that one's true. Yeah.
Really came around there.
It was some, like, he was talking to someone and he mentioned, he's like, oh yeah, he's talking about how much he loves ska and how it's like, yeah, it's just like, really, like that's what you're gonna like talk about, trying to relate to people.
There's almost no depth to which I wouldn't believe a presidential campaign could go right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't it just, yeah. SNL musical guests ranked from number 1 to Greta Van Fleet.
Could be a clickhole thing. True.
That one's true. That one's from NPR.
That's a weird
headline. I know. I loved it. So every once in a while they post a few where it's like, yeah. But that's brutal. Do you know who Greta Van Fleet is?
I don't know. What songs would I recognize?
I
love the amount of like tour you're going
through. Okay. Well, so here's the thing with Greta Van Fleet.
All right.
Is they basically, their thing is they're like, what if there was a band like Led Zeppelin and it was us? Is like their whole thing.
So they do songs similar to?
Yes, they basically were like, let's just do Led Zeppelin songs, but just like change the words. Pretend like but the whole thing is they kind of like they're so not self-aware. And the fact that they're just doing like 70s classic rock and like weird kind of they don't realize that they're doing it. So to them it's super genuine and it's just bad. It's awful. It's one of those things where like if you were like even mildly self-aware, you could have some fun with it and your songs would be kind of silly and kind of fun. But like the fact that they're like, what if I just did that? Like, what if we just did Led Zeppelin? It's like, what if we did that?
It's like we were like,
and they're so excited for it.
What if we just made a Batman movie?
Yeah, and it's just like, what if we just made a Batman movie, but it's not Batman? Like that's like their whole thing. Yeah, it's like it's basically that. It's really bad. They're awful. They're incredibly.
They're
bad.
the worst, according to NPR.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's what's surprising is even NPR is like they suck that bad. But a lot of people were like super. They were one of like the hyped bands for a while. Where it's like I think Pitchfork gave one of their albums like a 0.7 out of 10.
Yikes!
It was something awful like that, like a 1
Usually
point whatever.
Get a couple points for trying.
Yeah, and like, even they were pretty much just like, yeah, these guys have like they don't realize what they're doing is awful, but they
know not what they do.
They're so excited for it. Where's another one?
All right, we got what, 1 or 2 more?
One more.
All right, one more. The final real fake news of the night.
Yes. Used Kurt Cobain pizza plate sells for 23 grand at auction.
God, I have no idea. That totally could happen because people are crazy. But also, it's absurd.
So
but life is absurd.
Gonna send Tom into an existential breakdown here for a pizza plate.
True.
That one's also true.
Oh, okay, but I can't feel happy about that because
Well, you can actually, because it's not as bad as it sounds.
okay, all
So
right.
this pizza plate was actually basically he wrote his set list down on a pizza plate,
Oh,
like that he ate some
okay.
food on before a
Alright.
show or something like that. So like if you look at it, it's got like a list of songs on it essentially.
Okay,
And so he
all right.
scribbled it down before a show, so we know what to play. But still, can you imagine like Kurt Cobain like with like a pizza plate, like looking at like what song he's supposed to play next or something like that?
I
Like
guess.
it's,
I don't
so
know.
funny.
That is funny.
Uh,
Well, okay, we did it. We made
we
it through
done, we
another.
dang done did it. You win a Jonas Vidal 2020
so
bumper
many-
sticker. Woo! That's
got
when you
so
play
many
like
now.
the audience.
I don't have it up right now, but
Clap all around the microphone, so
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's most people.
well,
Yeah.
So we did it. Another medium roast in the books. We are almost at 50 episodes. What are we gonna do
That's
for our
it?
50th?
I feel like it's been a lot more than 50. I don't know how.
Well, I mean total. If you count all the like loomings and then all
Yeah.
the Tuesdays with Toms and then the guilty pleasures and then 5 quadrants or whatever.
Fruit of the
else there
Loomings.
was. Yeah. I mean we've done a lot of shows,
We have over the years,
but
the
this
many years.
this particular show is about at 50. And what we're gonna do is the most recent 50 episodes will always be free.
Okay.
All the older ones than that are going to go behind the paywall at the Patreon. So tell them about the Patreon.
Oh man, ye old Patreon. So if you drag your lazy butt on over to www.patreon.com/ ooh, is it Medium Roast now or Exarban Creative? Okay, I can remember which one to switch to. Yeah, but if you go on to www.patreon.com/Exarban Creative, which Exarban is Nebraska spelled backwards for you not Nebraskan people.
Abe commented, or he sent me a message. He was like, when we switched it over to Exarban Creative to begin with, he was like, "Did you get bought out by a sheik?"
Yes, but
I wish.
yeah, right.
We're open. We're open.
Bring on the oil money, Koch brothers.
Coke Bears.
Coke Bears. But yeah, no. So yeah, go on there. We have several different tiers of essentially rewards that you can get for supporting us. And I mean, we really appreciate any help we can get. I mean, this stuff isn't free, but we do it anyways because we like you guys and we like to talk and we like
Well,
to
yeah.
think that you guys like to listen to us talk.
Like you a little
So,
bit. Anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, we've done so many hours of free content.
So many.
Yeah, it's absurd. These Game of Thrones ones were really good clickbait. We got a lot of
I
listens on those.
almost didn't know what to talk about now that we couldn't talk about Game of Thrones. I was like, what's the new thing?
What else?
What is everyone talking about now? What's going on?
The Deadwood movie. I figured might not be
Deadwood.
quite the draw. But yeah, I watched a little bit of the first season of that. But anyway, doesn't matter. Patreon.com/Exarban Creative. You'll get access to the whole backlog. I've got a little announcement
The
for you.
whole backlog.
I'm experimenting with setting up a page on our site that just is basically doing a 24/7 stream.
Oh
of
no.
Lots of things we've done.
Oh,
So
no. Just like a constant rotation of
it'd be our episodes of this. We'd have Riverside chats.
vegetable
We'd throw in
lasagna.
other stuff. Maybe I don't have it.
Where did they go?
I thought Abe had it, but then he doesn't.
What?
So
You
I
didn't
don't-
save it anywhere?
I don't know if I have.
I've
it
got like
anywhere.
a stack of hard drives at home. We can start putting stuff on hard drives.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if it's up because basically it was through the hosting platform that Abe had, and then Abe got kicked out of that.
Oh no.
And then I don't know.
Abe, you should call us at
we talked-
402-519-2194 and let us know where our old radio shows have gone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We can see if any of that still exists, but at the very least, it'll be all of our episodes. So if you say have that itch and you want to scratch it by listening to a medium roast, but we haven't done an episode that week or we haven't done one yet, you can just go to the page
Oh
do
man.
24/7
And it's just like,
stream.
yeah, it's just like if you're bored and you want to
Yeah.
listen to us talk for some reason.
because we've got
Yeah.
like
We have so much content.
3 days worth of
So
content
much.
of this show alone.
Oh man.
Isn't
Yeah,
it sad
'cause
it's
these
all-
run kind of long. I guess.
Yeah, they're all over an hour.
Wow.
And then this is episode 44 of the medium roast.
We should do something fun for 50. What should we do for 50?
That's what I was gonna say. We could do a supersized,
We can do super drunk show.
super drunk, like 3 hour
Yeah.
long extravaganza.
We should. I'll bring in like a whole bottle of something. We'll just drink it.
We'll just keep going.
Yeah, we'll let it
We'll
go
see
until
where
we
it
can't
goes.
go anymore.
Well,
That'd be so
we
funny.
have to hit the 3 hour mark, then we can end it. It's like we have to make it that long,
Okay.
and then we can
So,
try.
I mean,
to
we
get
can keep going if we want. But
Oh, sure, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
at
Okay.
least. So the
Yeah.
3 hour long 50th episode is
So 6 weeks from
incoming.
now, I'll take off that Monday and Tuesday.
Well, and so I don't know. Next week, I'm going to be out of town. So I don't know if you're going to try to do a show or just we call it off for the week or what exactly.
I could try. I'll let you know. I'll see if I can find anyone who will talk to me for.
Now, here's a little twist for you. Will Forget said he wants a show and what would be the morning here. So I said I can do one Wednesday morning and he can do one Wednesday morning. I don't know if you'll be able
This
to make
Wednesday?
it.
How
Yeah,
early in the morning?
9 a.m.
I could do that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, this Wednesday. Do you
All
just
right.
want to do it then? We can narrate it this next week then? Or do you want to do it live and then?
It's a good question. I don't know. What do you want?
Let's just do an extra one this week.
Yeah,
I can listen to some music, watch some TV or something, and we can.
I think that's fair.
We can talk
Yeah.
about stuff. Yeah.
we have 2 episodes for you this week, and then next
Yeah.
week maybe I'll do a rerun, something like
Oh,
that.
there we go.
That's
That'll
fine.
work. Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing. We did 2.
Do a Chris Fago stream of consciousness episode, which is me like walking around talking about things. It sounds awful.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Though. I kind of hear it every week. It's
Yeah.
like people are like, Frank said, do you listen to his podcast? She's like, all day, every day. I don't.
That's a valid
I
point.
don't
Though.
need
Like
another hour of
I would not blame her for that at all.
Yeah.
I had someone. I mentioned the show to someone. She's like, "Oh my god, I'll totally come on your show and talk about something." What did you talk about? She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah, yeah." She's like, "I have so many good stories." I'm like, "All right." Well.
Is she funny?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're funny, maybe you can be on the show one day. Everybody
Yeah,
listening,
someday.
you listeners.
Or if you call in, you can be on the show any day.
Yeah. You
All right.
jerks. All right. We'll be back
Next week.
on Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. This Wednesday.
Wednesday.